Hello, just me here trying to get situated and get the lighting ready. And I'm looking forward to everybody joining me as we get situated and wait for everything to start. Hey Sylvia, I'm just setting up and getting ready to get it going. I have no idea how long this is going to be, and I'm hoping I can keep it on time. But here we're going to be going. So we'll hang tight here for a little while people get on. It's 4:59 as I'm looking at my little side clock. And setting up here. And hopefully my little Shuggy doesn't start barking. Excuse me. And okay. Hi there, and I'm Karen Goodson, and we're live and waiting for people to jump in. I know I have a few that I've invited that I know are going to be stepping in here in a minute. And we are here at Kansas City Metaphysical Spiritual Spring Fair. And I think I'm one of the final readers of the night, but kind of waiting for people to join in. Hi there. Welcome. Hi. I'm Karen Goodson, and we're just kind of hanging in as people get signed up and get on here. Hi, April. Glad you could join us. And I know you'll have lots of questions. And I'll apologize up front for this was a last minute inspiration with all my guides coming through here recently, the last couple days, a lot of download of information. So I've been busy scribbling on notepads and getting my notes ready for today. So putting everything on paper. So I will have to look at my paper sometimes to get all the downloads that came down and came in. But I'll also try to watch for your questions. Hi, Rox. How are you? And welcome. So while everybody's still joining and kind of waiting for the actual workshop to start. Hi, Tina. Let me tell you a little bit about me and my history with numbers while I'm waiting for people to join. So I am an old fart and been doing this for a long time. I remember coming into my body as a baby, and so my life has been very interesting as a empath, a clairsentient, clairaudient, walking that particular journey. I'm going to turn off some of these lights because it looks like I'm just lit up. I have been tapping in a lot recently with everything that's going on in the world. And so if I get emotional, it's because the feelings are so big. And as an empath, and I know those of you that are empaths know what I'm talking about. And when you personally have someone affected by the situation going on, it hits you a little deeper. Sorry. But the biggest thing that came through to me is, wow, what about all these master numbers? There's so many master numbers. We need to be talking about them. I started delving into numerology in 1987. In my personal chart, most of the books that were out back then didn't really answer the questions that I had. That, what about the master numbers? What is a master number? So just to give you a ABC quick version of numerology, it's a science older than time itself. We take the value of a letter and assign a number to it. I use the Pythagorean method myself. And in doing that, we literally come up with your tone or a story about you, your contract, your information. Well, in my particular name, I have a lot of master numbers. It's unusual to have a master number. It's rare to have more than 3 master numbers. and I have an 11, a 22, an 11, an 11, a 44. So, a few master numbers, and it can be overwhelming sometimes. And what I'm hearing from a lot of my friends that people I've done charts with, customers I've had, people that I know have master numbers in their charts, is that this energy is getting so big right now. So that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it. I told people I feel like, sometimes it's the white rabbit in Alice in Wonderland, where it's like, oh my God, you just feel like there's someplace you got to go, something you got to be doing, but can't put your name on it. So we're going to start talking about the master numbers here, what they are, what's the purpose. A master number, most people, we think of your numerology, you think of your birthday, day, month, year, added, reduced to a single digit or to a double digit, which is a master number, an 11, a 22, 33. And when I was first studying, the books only went up to 33. They didn't go beyond that. So I had to do my own research and do a lot of digging to look for information on the numbers beyond 33. For the 44s, the 55s, the 66s, and all the way up to the 99s. And I actually have a friend who is a very, very rare 99. He may pop on. I'm not sure. Hi, Casey. Hi, SD. And hear what I have to say about what's coming through. Our base number, that's our base birth number, birth path. But when I look at master numbers and the impact that's happening right now, I'm looking at your name number. I'm looking at your destiny number. And that's what we're going to focus on today. So I know a lot of people may have questions about other numbers. Do the master numbers that show up other places in your chart influence you? And we'll kind of talk about that a little bit today. But my main focus today is to really focus on the name number, the destiny number, and what your destiny, your contract is that has been activated now, that says, yes, you were born with this, you signed up for this. Now is the time to take action. So that's what we're here to talk about today. All right, so let's and if the lighting gets too bright, I've got the sun kind of shining and going down on my window right in front of me, so I can't tell. I look washed out to me, but who knows? You guys will have to let me know. All right, so I told you about the basic numerology, and we look at 4 quadrants. I look at your birth path, day, month, year, added and reduced. I look at the value of your vowels, which I call your heart's desire. I look at the value of your consonants, which I call your personality number. And then, of course, I look at the value of your full name, and that's your destiny number. And some people I know have changed names, and they have what we call like an overlay because their name has changed. Well, those 4 legs of your table, of your name, those natal chart, that didn't go away. That stays there your whole life. Other name changes, other nicknames, those do have an influence. I call it like putting a tablecloth on your table. So your table's still there, but you've kind of decorated it a little bit different. So it either enhances your numbers or softens your numbers in some way. With a master number, when you're adding, so anybody doing those charts, I know April and some others out there dabble with doing some numerology and working on charts. I add the first name together and come to a digit. I add the middle name together, come to a digit, the last name, come to a digit, then add those across. And you're always looking when you're adding to see, is there a master number there? That's what we're talking about today. So that's kind of your basic quick run on what is basic numerology and how to get to it. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, thank you for joining me, those of you that hadn't heard. So this was an inspiration that came to me honestly last night. My guides have been on me all week and really chatting up a storm with some things going on. And so I've been working all day, handwriting my workshop, and I apologize if I have to look over at my notes, but I've just been letting the downpour come in and talking, and also referring to one of my favorite authors, which I mentioned in one of my other little ads, The Master Numbers, if you can see this. This is a very old book by Cora Deaver, but it's a very, very good book that does go into a lot on numerology for the master number level. All right, so master numbers. All right, so in thinking about our name, think about, I love this part that Cora talks about in the Bible, for example. When God gave a message or a job or something for a person to do, he renamed them to live up to and embody the energy of what that task was. That's how powerful the name is. For many years, I was married to someone from the Middle East, and his mother, who, bless her soul, since passed, always told me that in her country, you were son of this person, daughter of, mother of. You didn't give your full name, because when someone knew your full name, they knew the power of who you were. They had power over you. So they didn't give their full names back in, especially in the biblical times. It was considered very sacred to know the full name of someone at birth. All right. So, all right. And who's going to be my timekeeper? Sylvia, somebody be my timekeeper. All right. Let me see. All right. So let's talk about master numbers. All right. Slow down. If I'm talking too fast, you guys will have to let me know. All right. There's a lot of things I do. You all know me as a numerologist. I also dabble in astrology. I know tarot, destiny cards, channeling, mediumship. So when things start pouring in, which they do sometimes, like this week, my body got into a place of overwhelm, which I know a lot of the empaths are feeling. I had to say stop. My guides, my angels, stop and slow down. Give it to me in a way that I can understand it, I can hear it, without being emotionally kicked off my heels by it. And that's when the rewind and the new information started coming in this week. All right. So my theory on numerology, some of you that have had readings by me know that I feel like before we come in, we sit around with our soul family, and our soul family, they ask, what do you want to accomplish this time when you come back? And then based on what you speak for your own soul's growth, your soul family says, I love you, I bless you, and I'll show up for you as your mother, your father, your child, your lover, your tormentor, to help you with what you spoke as your desire for soul growth. What I see with people that come in with master numbers, and if you also did a layout like an astrology chart next to someone with complicated numerology chart, like mine is a complicated numerology chart. I have a very, very, very complicated astrology chart, because master numbers, when they're in soul family, they say, you know what, just throw everything in. I want to get it done this time. I don't know that I want to come back. Just give me everything. I want to do it big. So we wanted to come in and we wanted to do it big, especially if you have 2 or more master numbers in your chart. All right. But let's start with our 11s. I'm going to start with number 11. Those of you that are 11. So, Cora calls it the visionary or the daydreamer. I call them the universalist. And our 11s are ultra sensitive. They're very dreamy, very high-minded. They're your healers. They're very kinesthetic. They have revelations and insights that other people just don't know where they get it. They are inspirational. They're the people that a lot of times you'll go to for an inspiring message or that holds the high watch for you. They often feel very misunderstood. So our 11s, because of the high standards that they try to live up to themselves and that they hold others to, the soul's test for the master number 11 is development in honesty and integrity. And when they're at their best, they do convey like a spiritual qualities that do inspire others. They have very optimistic, kind of sunny personalities. They are the masters of inspiration. They're able to see all sides of a question. And that can frustrate some of the other numbers, but because they are non-judgmental, they'll listen, and they can kind of roll that question around and think about it from all different sides. They are the scales being balanced. They're very psychic, and their abilities have to be used to help other people. That's the thing that you'll hear me say over and over and over again about these master numbers. If you have a master number and you're not living up to your potential, you are going to feel yourself like you're going to explode. You're going to feel like you can't breathe. You are going to be working at your base number. So like an 11's base number is a 2. The 1 plus 1 is a 2. A master number was meant to be standing in the master place. And this is the time, fix the bangs here, girls, it's in my eyes. This is the time that we have to do that. All right, let's look at the 22. So the 22, powerful or power mad. The 22 is the master builder, a visionary who knows how to plan and execute things, large projects, for example. And you want to bring spiritual principles to the material world. You have powerful skills of manifestation. A lot of times you're seen as a little eccentric because your ideas are kind of maybe out there or unorthodox in some way. So their energy usually gravitates towards government, helping government or large movements. That's a good effect or a good way to apply your energy as a 22, a master number 22. And organization is your greatest talent. Working with groups is much better for you than working alone. Like they're builders, so like hospitals, museums, art galleries. You understand the processing of taking ideas and turning it into something tangible. And with that, the power that you carry with that, oh my gosh. So it's a great responsibility. With that great responsibility can also come great destructive powers. So it depends on how you use it. 22, you are activated, and you're activated to undertake the larger duties for the community at large. If you hide your light, you will be reduced to the drudgery of the 4 energy and find yourself restricted by detail and routine. Use your perseverance to push yourself up and out into a larger field. You have the knowledge and the understanding to carry out your dreams. Our 33s, the mystic, the martyr, the Christ consciousness is the 33. The soul's demand for a master 33 is the development of kindness and altruism. And 33s have always been seen, because of the title of the Christ vibration, as very empathetic. It is about being in a life of service. And, whether it's at a 3 level or at a 6 level, it's about serving humanity in some way. They are super sympathetic and super sensitive. So very understanding of what someone else is going through, very tender-hearted. They can go to places of deep despair because their heart feels so deeply. And, they carry great wounds and feelings from inside, and they feel the global pain that's going on right now. Your continued mission is to develop cosmic consciousness. That's where you are, 33s. Selfless service to humanity. And, that's difficult to live up to. It's difficult to live up to a master number and be there all the time. Think of, sucking in your gut and holding in your stomach. Can you walk around like that all the time, 24/7? No, you can't. But staying in that high-mindedness, giving yourself that time to reach out, to listen, to meditate, to be in that place which the world has offered us right now, can bring you more peace in that. And 33s, what it says about you, if you do not live into your power of a 33, you will drop to the level of a 6, and you'll still be called upon to be in service, but you're going to feel more, you're going to feel unappreciated and may move to a martyr place. And 33, you are being activated. And you are being activated to detach, but keep a caring attitude, which will make it possible to heal these deep wounds and misery that a lot of people and that the world is feeling. So moving to a place of detachment so that it doesn't destroy or affect your own psyche. Teaching and setting an example of compassion is your most important role right now. Hi there, Katie, Tina. That's okay. I'm on 44s, and I'm trying to allow some time for questions. Does anybody have questions so far? I don't know how long it's going to take to go over all the way up to 99, so I know I may be going fast, and a lot of people are sharing with me, I'm an 11, I'm a 4, I'm this, I'm that. That's exciting, that's great. I can't stop and do any numbers right now, but I'm glad to have you here. I appreciate you being here. So the 44, that's my number. And I was never really happy when I read this, but now I have a deeper level of understanding of what that means, especially when I look at also juggling it with my 11s. I have 2 11s, my 22 and my 44 as layers. So it's like layer upon layer upon layer of what the call to action is for me personally. So 44, the philanthropist or the control freak. And I will admit that back in my younger years, man, in being a woman in management in the 80s and 90s, going through that glass ceiling, and with my other numbers in tow, I had to be the dragon lady. I had to be control freak. And often our master numbers beat us up, and mine did, until we're past our mid-30s. So I'd say safely after 36, but in that 32 to 36, your numbers start beating the heck out of you, and especially master numbers. You start getting a handle on them after 36 to where you go, oh, I see how this works. I can delegate that instead of owning it all the time, all right? 44s are found in the areas of world welfare, providing jobs for the jobless, homes for the homeless. If you ask my husband, you'll find out there's been, I can't tell you how many people that were hiking across the U.S. or ended up at church that I used to work at or whatever, ended up on my sofa, and a couple of them lived with us a couple years at various different times. So it's just like people kind of show up. I don't know, it's in my nature as the 44. They're the masters of material, but their path is not an easy one because they must work against the inertia of less aware people. Yep, that's true. They're usually conservative, and they don't flaunt their gifts. Much of their work is done in secret or behind the scenes, and they let other people take credit for it because it's really about the work. It's not about me. The soul's demeanor of the Master 44 is to develop self-control. Yeah, I had that. It's been great since retirement. Let me tell you, the last 3 years developing self-control has been great. Spiritual use of the material goods comes naturally. So 44s, you are activated, and you're activated to make the world a better place physically. You have the inventiveness to do this. You have an outstanding destiny with dynamic energy that can direct wealth and acclaim and status. And all of this is best used when it's combined with, when we combine the material and the spiritual energies, considering working for the good of all concerned. So not for me growing my bank account, me growing my wealth, but what can I do to use these talents I have to grow it and help humanity in some way. Devote your energy to the ideals within your highest aspirations. And live by natural optimism, and then you'll have peace of mind, and your tremendous works will be a result of that. Jessica says, I see during researching on the 11, it'll say master number 11, teacher, karmic, master number 11. Yes. 11s are teachers. Yeah, I'm not sure if you were here earlier when I was talking more about the 11. There are layers and layers and layers and layers to all these numbers. So we're doing I could probably do a whole hour on just one number. Okay. And at some point, maybe I will. Most of my friends, I have a lot of friends that are 11s, and yes, they are the, cosmic teacher, the universalists. So I'm going to get back to the 55s, but we might come back to that 11 and where else it shows up in people's charts. Now, the 55, again, the old books and a lot of the numerology books out there only go up to 33. They say there's only master numbers up to 33. I've found that not to be true. And so, but I have not met, I take that back, I've only met one 55, and they're called a frequent flyer or a local commuter. The sole demand on the master 55 is to integrate the mind and the soul, which act together for the expansion of the human mentality. So you have the 5 and the 5, which are about change and movement. 5 plus 5 is 10, 1. Okay, so we also have ideas, all these ideas coming in. So generally, they are a nonconformist. There's someone who has this very spiritual consciousness. They can gather and find resources. They're all about action, very innovative from a spiritual insight way. They probably, right now, I would think that the 5s are having a lot of past life soul memories popping up. The 55s, I would see dealing with a lot of maybe depression and some overwhelmness because of the energy of everything that's going on right now. You're versatile. Joseph, you are? How about that? Hi, Joseph. You're 55. Well, Joseph, you're versatile, smart, and courageous. You walk a path with pride and assurance because you know your highest calling is to be an example for all. And you move quickly, and you're never happy when things seem to slow down. So right now you're probably going nuts if you're, trapped at home with yourself or just one other person. The social distancing is challenging for our 55s. And, Joseph, I know I did your numbers last year, but I tell you what, okay, I'll tell you, if I've done your chart, no, I don't remember your numbers because I have to do like this mental dry erase board. I've done thousands of charts in my life, and if I walk around, I'd have everybody's recording going on all day in my head. So I have to erase it, and don't always, unless we talk about it a lot, don't always remember all your numbers. All right, so back to you, Joseph. All right, so your highest calling is to be an example for all. You move quickly and are never happy when you slow down. We talked about the social distancing. So the social distancing may have you a little bit out of balance right now because you really, your energy and ideas play off of balancing them off of other people. You refuse to acknowledge limitations, Joseph, but learning to cooperate without losing your identity. If you do not live up to your best self, your traits can come across as that of a dictator. They can be much more aggressive, and you can become more confused and erratic. So you have a rapid fire, you're like this rapid fire idea person. Like as soon as you're talking to someone, it's like a squirrel. It's hard to stay on track because they're generating all these new ideas coming into you. You are being activated, Joseph, to develop new plans and projects that make use of your out-of-the-box thinking, but you must be allowed to carry out your ideas unhampered by tradition. You have a way with words. Share your revelations, write and communicate the messages you're getting. And I know you're writing a book right now. Perfect timing for that for you, Joseph. April, what did you say, April? Let's see, April. If you have multiple master numbers in your chart, are there certain ones that take charge over the others, or how does that work? Let's see, time-wise. Let me get through all 99. Let me come back to that. If remind me again, April, because I do want to talk about that. 66 is the cosmic consciousness or path of sorrow. The soul's demand of the holder of the Master 66, and I personally have never, and I've done thousands of charts over the last 30 years, I've never met a 66. The soul's demand of the holder of a Master 66 is for personal transformation through compassion and love. Every soul must pass through the gates of sorrow and pain. We all do. That's how we grow. That's how we were able to come into this body in a master number. Until we learn the right use of that power. So expressing and upholding ideals of honorable living and uplifting others and being inspiring. Your life reflects integrity, equality, truth, justice, very, very important to that double six. And again, the 6, 6, 12, 3 communicator. But the double six is also about beauty. 6, I call it the goddess number, the wealth number. 6 is a wealth number. You're blessed with glorious assignment to reveal beauty to the unenlightened, romance to the unromanced, and life to the depressed. That is part of your calling as a 6. Words are your medium, 66. And with your knack of conversation, your ability to talk to people, they feel heard. They really feel heard. So even though you're a pacifist, 66, you're the first one to stand up for a person if you feel like they're being unjustly treated. And 66, I was told you are being activated to love all people without judgment. There is a lot going on behind the scenes, and the 66s can jump right in there and say, no, I'm going to protect this person. But wait till you hear the other side of the story. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that you're not aware of. Remember, your love is huge, and it must be given to all people. All people. I won't say any names. Your love must be given to all people. Spread your light and work for the good of humanity. All right, 77s. I have met a 77, and 77s, 7's the number of the mystic. So when I'm doing your chart, if you're a single number 7, that in itself is a lot of work. Imagine a double 77. That's disciple or vagabond. 77s are disciples at large who roam the world seeking fulfillment and illumination. They analyze everything. I'm going to turn on a little bit of light over here because it's getting dark in my room. Okay. So they analyze. Sevens are analyzers. They're very, very mental. There are judgers. So they walk in judgment, and they walk in analytical, mental kind of mindset, if you will. It's the number of the mystic. So they have these mystical powers of action. Their soul is searching for right judgment, and they judge themselves. So part of their path is learning to judge what they did and decide, was it the right thing or the right action or the wrong action? That's part of what the 77s are working through, especially the master number. Silence is a 77's best friend. They have to have, I call it in the cave time, they have to have that silence time, that time of healing, that time to let all those thoughts and minds come through. In this incarnation, they have to learn to develop those analytical skills in a way that there's more discernment, that it's not just about judgment, but more of how to fulfill those ideas that come through analyzing. But let's look at their activation. It said 77s, you're being activated to use your powerful analytical abilities to make others aware of the potential dangers. This must be done in an unselfish, tolerant, manner, using your deep empathy and fearlessness, because they're very fearless, to help others accept the changes to come as an opportunity for greater growth. Doing okay? Yes. All right. I'm going to look at some questions. I totally have a squirrel mindset. Yeah, you would right now, Joseph. Oh my gosh. And Katie, your husband's a 55. Whoa. Yeah, there's a lot going on for all of us with the master numbers. All right, let's look at the 88. I've met some 88s, crusader or fanatic. The 88 soul demand is for self-mastery through truth and responsibility, responsible control of thought. So the 88s they're the action people. If you think of them, the movers, the shakers as an 8. Now you get 2 8s together, okay, and you got the 8 and 8, 16, 7. So they've got the intuition of the mystic, but they got this double action, these 2 wheels rolling that they have to lead and be out there as the leader. They're naturally seen as the leader. They can walk in a room and people automatically assume they're the leader because of the energy that they have. And that's a big responsibility for someone to take on, and they need to know to honor that, that people look to them as a leader. They have to live by their own soul's direction. They need to learn, and part of their life lesson as an 88 is not to seek other people's approval and do it for that glory and the goals and the achievement, but to do it because it is their soul's direction and they're doing it for the right reasons, the right cause. They don't accept anything until they can prove it themselves, so they're kind of the skeptic in the group, and they're gonna say, if I can research it, if I can find the information, then maybe I'll share it, maybe I'll know it's true. Reaching master status, and this is the same for all the numbers. In reaching master status, it doesn't mean you don't have any more life lessons to learn. It means your life lessons are harder. And it means that, you have to be easier on yourself and learn that it's not about outside of you and these other people. It is about pulling it from within to what you have to give to other people, not how to utilize it for selfish reasons on what I can acquire. So huge and big. 88s are being activated. And 88s are being activated to become more selfless and tolerant, balance. They need to balance the urges of their emotional nature. Sorry, I got distracted there for a minute. Somebody popped on. They need to balance their emotional nature and seek harmony, and will be successful if you apply this spiritual knowledge to your willpower and financial know-how. When your projects are helpful to others, the financial end will take care of itself. And your nature, your natural executive abilities to manage resources will bring you rewards. Now, did I get disconnected? I can't tell. Is somebody still there? Say hello. Send me a little up fingers, because I got a text from Gigi. Did I lose my feed here? Hello? All right, thank you. All right, you're back. Okay, sorry. It went blank it went just kind of zipped for a minute. All right, so we are at, I'm going to talk about 99, and then we'll have time to talk about some of these other questions that are coming up. All right, the last one, the 99, the adept or the Pied Piper. Very rare. As I said, I do know one person. I'm surprised he didn't pop on here. It was a student of mine many years ago. My husband and I used to have classes in our homes, and as a teacher, I love to teach. Anyway, we were studying some metaphysical materials at home. He was a student of mine, and his ex-wife is now a a very mystic phoenix lady that a lot of you may know. So anyway, that being said, it's very rare, but I do know somebody that's a 99, and the holder of this master number, they must assume great burdens for humanity. It is guiding, demonstrating, and teaching charity, forgiveness, cosmic consequences, and unbelievable love. I mean, the 99s have to have this humanitarian, compassionate level beyond anything you can even comprehend. They have the spirit. There are warriors. There are spiritual strength warriors. They have to have the spiritual strength to that equal to or greater than the avatars of the past. And they're empathetic, and they're compassionate, and they're wise, and they're intelligent. Their intelligence is beyond anything you've probably seen at a cosmic level. This particular person does programming at a level that would blow you away. Love, tolerance, empathy, and service are the secrets that bring them honor and success. They have a distaste for small-mindedness and orthodox attitudes. And in spite of their deep love for people, it's necessary for them to remain impersonal. This is part of their life lesson. As a 99, they love and are compassionate and love their family. They can have families. He has a wonderful family. I officiated their wedding. So he has a wonderful woman in his life and wonderful children. And in spite of their deep love for people, it's important for him and for other 99s to remain more impersonal in their relationships, because it is cosmic. When they get down to the one-on-one level, they're in the body. It's important for them as much as possible to stay in the cosmic. So 99, you are being activated to stand up for the cosmic principle, to use your great cosmic love to find solutions for troubled relationships at the highest level, and yet be able to detach when needed. Understanding comes only when you discover that the highest form of love serves all rather than a few. So, wow. A lot going on. All right, so questions. So one of the questions that April posed earlier, in looking at these layers and layers and layers of master numbers, yes, all master numbers are being activated. The level and degree to which you feel it depends on where it is in your chart and how many times. So I call it the Rubik's Cube. If you watch my little commercial, the Rubik's Cube I look at of your numbers and how many times something shows up. If you have it as your birth path, yes, it's a big number. If you have it as your first name, if you have it as your middle name, if you have it as your first name, it amplifies how you see the world. If you have a master number in your middle name, it deepens this feeling side of you. If you have it as your, let's say, your heart's desire, which is your vowels, if you have a master number there, that's your heart's desire. Right now, it's being cranked up. The volume's being cranked up. And so that desire for, let's say, that 11 energy, that desire for laying your hands on someone, touching someone, healing someone, your healing abilities, you're feeling through your hands, seeing through your eyes, sensing other people's bodies getting louder. How people see you, personality number, it's your consonants. If that's in a master number, yes, you're going to start noticing people approaching you or handling you in a lot different manner, because your energy is going to be louder. It's going to be more massive. If you are, that 33-6, you are the 33 in a personality, and people see you as this kind person who helps people, it's cranked up now to where they're like, whoa, how can they have that level of compassion? How can I be there like they are? They're going to see it. It's going to be more visible. And then as your destiny, you are on fire. I had told others, and I think I put in one of the little videos that I did, that there's this energy ball as empaths, and for us especially with master numbers growing and growing within you, growing in your midsection, growing in your heart energy. And feel it like, if you're playing with an energy ball and you kind of do this, okay, and then you feel it getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I want you to keep holding on to it for a little bit longer. Feel that growing. Feel the color of it. Feel the shape of it. Feel the love and the compassion coming from it. Feel the activation code that you were given, that you were told, this is yours to do. And when you're ready, it is time to lift it up and put it out to humanity. And the call is coming soon. There is downloads coming from a lot of the mystics I know, other psychics that I communicate with and talk to, other goddess energy women that I get to play with and have wonderful women in my life. And we're feeling the call loud. We can't come in circle and hold hands, but trust me, at this place right now, with the energy being as big as it is, especially with the master numbers activating, with the goddess energies activating right now, we don't have to touch, because our energy fields are spreading out beyond the walls that you are confined in at home right now, and reaching out to your neighbors. And if you do that visualization, that bubble visualization that many of us in metaphysics know or have studied, if you don't, look it up or ask one of your metaphysical friends. Grow it beyond your house, beyond your city, beyond your state, and see it engulfing our whole planet and beyond, because this really is not just about this little tiny dot in the universe, is it? Questions? Who else has a question for me? It's April. Are you still here? All right, well, I'm looking to see if anyone has any questions on master numbers, and if not, we're going to wrap it up here pretty soon. Does anyone have any questions, numerology questions that I can answer? Hi, Sarah. Hi, Stephanie. I'm getting ready to wrap it up, but yes, I am still doing readings today. I'm doing readings until probably about 8 tonight, if my energy holds up. So yes, I'm still doing readings. You can still book a reading if you go to my Facebook page and click on, just go drop down and book now. It's also new to you, Katie. Yes. Okay. So how do you figure out if you have a master number? It's the math behind the math. So there is a little bit of that's why I usually recommend you see a numerologist or pick up a book on it, because it's not just adding straight across when it's your name. You break it down by adding your first name. And when I'm doing a chart, I put the value of the vowels on the top and the value of the consonants on the bottom, and it's easier to add across. Short version is, how do you do it? Here, I hope this doesn't show it in reverse. You write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on a sheet of paper. See that? And then starting with 1, you go A, go to B, 2, you go B, 3 is C, 4 is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. And then you start over again at 1 and go J, and then K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, and then go back up, S, T, U, V, and you do that, and then you have what number is assigned to what letter. Based on that, you can go through a chart and you write your name out, and you put your consonants at the bottom, your vowels at the top, add your vowels of your first name, add your consonants, add those two numbers together, that's your first number, and then you go, after you get all three numbers, first, middle, last, then you go and add up for your name. How much are my readings? So I've actually discounted my readings greatly. When I'm doing one-on-ones in town, sitting with someone, it's $50. For this weekend, I'm doing them for $30. If you just want to know only your personal year, because everything's numbers. There's nothing that's not numbers. If you want to know just what's going on in your personal year, then I just take your day, month, year of birth. I give you your birth path number and tell you what your current energy is based on the numerology. For example, our universal year right now is a 4. So if you've had your birthday already this year, I've had my birthday this year, so I add my month and my day and 2020 together, I'm in a personal 3 year right now. So that tells me a lot about communication and writing and what's going to be going on for me. Those readings are $20, and a full reading is $30, and it takes about a half an hour for a full reading. And Katie, just pick up a book. You know what? One of the books, and you'll probably laugh, but a really, really good basic book for a new beginner is called Numerology for Dummies, because the couple that wrote it, they were very spiritual. They did their work. It's one of the many 40, 50 numerology books I have. And, they have some really good stuff in there, and they explain it in a very, very easy to understand for someone that's a beginner to comprehend. So pick that up and look at it. It's great. Any other questions? When working with heart's desire and personality, okay, so heart's desire and personality master numbers, do you take the total value of all 3 break it up? Okay, when I'm doing a full chart, so if I'm doing a reading, yes, you add the heart's desire, you add that heart's desire to the personality number that gives you your destiny number. And if they're master numbers, you keep them at master numbers, you don't break them down, if that makes any sense. So for example, if your heart's desire number, your vowels were an 11 and your personality number was a 22, then of course you're a 33 destiny. However, if your personality number was, let's say, a 5 and your master number is an 11 for your soul number, April, so that would be a 11 plus 5. So you got 16/7. Does that make sense? And then I add everything. I add my birth path to my destiny number to see what that's going to be. I add my first name to my, there's so many layers to numerology when doing things like I look at pinnacles and challenges, and that's a way where you add or subtract your birth, for example, your birth month from your birth year or your birth day from your birth year, and come up with some various calculations. So. See more. Okay. Do you take the total value of all 3 names or break it up by first, middle, last? I do first, middle, last, and then add a cross. Name for master numbers, or can you do both? I'm not sure what you mean by that. You may have to call me, April, because you've got some good questions. We'll have to text later on, okay? Any other questions before I have to wrap this up? It is 10 till. It's 5:50. Anybody else have any other questions? Well, you are welcome, Katie, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope it clarified some things. Please listen to to the people out there, those of you that I know that are psychic, that are having all these feelings, share them, talk to other people. It's time to activate. It's time for us to get busy, stop talking about it, stop internalizing and pulling the blankets over our head and getting in our feeling mode. And it's time to ball that energy up and put it back out to the world in a way that can help, a way that can lift other people up. I appreciate the time and being here, and you guys have a great day. You can message me questions, or if you're interested in a reading, you can message me on Facebook or follow my link over to my page and book a reading, and look forward to seeing some of you there. Bye-bye.